It is Hot 100.9 Indies Hip Hop Station. BSwift, special guest in the studio, because tonight it's a big show. Mary J. Blige and the one and only Neo's in the building.
Yeah. What's going on, Vivian?
Chilling, sir. How are you?
Can't complain, brother. Cannot complain. Living life and loving it right now.
Man, living life, loving it. We just been sitting there having good conversations. You've been out to the movies.
Yeah, man. Listen, shouts to Ryan Coogler, shouts to the boy Michael B. Jordan and everybody, the whole cast of Sinners. That movie was great. If you ain't seen it yet, and if my opinion means anything to you, yeah, that's one to go see. For real, for real. They did that thing with that thing.
Now, let me talk, because you don't get a chance. I don't think you get a lot of chance where you got a lot of downtime, especially on tour, right?
Not really.
You get a chance to move around, see things like this. When you get a chance to go and see a movie like Sinners, and you're sitting there watching it, does your brain get to work and you walk out of there like, ooh, I think I got a song up my sleeve?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Be it a song, be it a concept for a script or a TV show or something. Yeah. My brain, unfortunately, does not know how to sit still. And it's a bit of a gift and a curse, you know what I mean? Because, mind you, I don't get a whole lot of time to sleep. But then when I'm supposed to sleep, I'm wide awake and I'm thinking about stuff. So I don't get the sleep that I need. But at the same time, yeah, there's never I don't suffer from a lot of writer's block. You know what I'm saying? There's always something to write about. Always a subject matter, a concept, something. Always.
And I was gonna ask about that, because a lot of writers you come across when the path is like, yo, I ain't been able to write a song in 60 days. My brain hurts. How do you get out of this funk?
Well, I personally don't feel like writer's block is not knowing what to write. It's not being able to write what you want to write. You know what I'm saying? Like you've written a song about this and that and this and that. And even though you have another concept for this, you don't want to, I already wrote a song about that. You know what I mean? It becomes that. So I will, if I ever get into that place, again, which I rarely do, but if I ever do, what I do is just step away from it and do something else. Like, okay, if you're sitting and you can't think of anything new or interesting to write about, step away from it. Go watch TV. Go play a video game. Go do something. Go eat a bowl of cereal. There might be a word on the cereal box that sparks something. Like,
right.
The inspiration can literally come from anywhere. And that's another thing. You have to keep yourself open to the inspiration coming from literally anywhere. Like, don't just look at specific stuff like, all right, well, if I can't find what I need here, then I guess I just ain't gonna find it. No, you can literally be drinking a soda and turn the bottle around and look at it and see something on the bottle and just make up a story based off that one word. Like, me and my friends, when I was younger, we used to sit around and do stuff like that. Like when I used to be in a singing group when I was in high school, and we used to write our own stuff. So as a practice, I would just pick out something in the room, and we would just create a whole story around that one object or that one word in the room, and that would just jog the whole the muscles that you use to write songs.
Right.
It works. Try it. Y'all should try it. Just any random thing in the room. Create a whole story behind that one thing, and it'll help you.
That's fire right there. Now, you said you was in a singing group, and I'm glad you brought that up. We look at today's music. We don't see a lot of groups. It's more. And I got my own conspiracy on why, right? I feel like, thanks to social media, it's hard to be a fan of 5 people at once versus back then when we had a magazine. You bought a poster, all 5 was there. You had to love all 5, including the one you like. Where social media, I can go follow the one person I like. I don't care about the group anymore, right?
True. That's one element of it.
And that's one small element of a lot of reasons. If you could be in a group today and you could pick your favorite 3 singers, who would you be in a group with?
Man, good question. Myself, Ush, Chris, and maybe somebody new. Maybe Leon Thomas.
That's a fire group. That's a fire tour. That's a fire show. Hey, some promoter need to just book that show.
You know how groups don't work no more?
Why?
Because the group requires work. A group requires rehearsals. A group requires, personalities that meld and
absolutely,
like people to work together. And that's just not something that we do well anymore. You know what I mean? Groups are expensive. You're not buying one outfit for the show. You're buying 4 and 5. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a bigger means of transportation for everybody. It costs. You know what I'm saying? Record labels pay attention to this. As an independent, a production company, they paying attention to this too. It's like, all right, why would I pay for this group when I can just get this one dude or this one girl to sing and cut down on costs? You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's a lot that goes into the upkeep of a group. And, that work ethic just, I haven't seen that work ethic in a very, very long time.
No, that makes sense. While we on that type of thing, I don't know if you've noticed on social media, the trend has been Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
right?
I saw the one they put me on.
Okay, they put you on one.
Very much flattered by that.
I thought that was a dope one. And I'm going to ask you, if you can pick a Mount Rushmore of writers, do you have that?
Oh, Mount Rushmore. It's four heads on Mount Rushmore.
Four heads. You can include yourself. And I know it's so many we can name. Like,
man, I could go for days. All right, so let me see. I would throw Lionel Richie up there. I would throw Smokey Robinson up there. I would throw R. Kelly up there as a songwriter. Songwriter.
Yep.
And I would throw Quincy Jones up there.
That's fire.
Yeah, man.
That's a fire four right there.
Definitely. I feel like that covers a few different generations of R&B and just music, period. A few different genres. Yeah, I feel like that's well rounded.
That's a fire Mount Rushmore right there. I don't even know what to say after that. Like you say, that spans from old to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You get a few generations and a few different genres of music. And,
yeah.
Cats that just know their way around words. Yeah.
It's rare
nowadays.
A few years ago, a statement came out that R&B is dead. And it seems like since that statement came out, R&B has been more alive than it's ever been.
Definitely so.
What do you think about the state of R&B today when you look at the Leons, the SZAs, the U's, the Chris's that's keeping it alive?
I love that this new breath of life has been breathed into the genre. I feel now like, okay, now that we're feeding the genre again, we got to make sure that we're feeding it the right stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like this toxicity that exists in the music. There's nothing wrong with it because I feel like it's honest.
Absolutely.
And honesty in the music is one of the key elements to keeping it genuine. And I appreciate that. But I feel like, and especially from a male standpoint, the vulnerability that existed in like R&B in the 90s and early 2000s, you know what I'm saying, where cats was singing in the rain and and it was like, it was cool to profess to your woman how much you loved her or how much you missed her or how sorry you was for the fact that you did her wrong. Like, these are some of the things that made that R&B as dope as it was. And I feel like, there was a point in time where every genre of music got like a hip hop makeover.
Yep.
Hip hop became the biggest genre of music, period, right? Overtook rock and country and all of that. It was hip hop. And then all of a sudden, everything got a makeover. Country music got a hip hop makeover. You know what I mean? So I feel like when that happened, R&B as a genre, the delivery became a little bit more aggressive because as opposed to, people that I had Boyz II Men growing up, I had Jodeci, I had Brian McKnight, I had Joe, I had Drew Hill, I had a few different examples of masculine yet vulnerable R&B to look up to. A cat coming up behind me has what? Primarily hip hop to look up to. So his delivery is gonna be a little more harsh, you know what I'm saying, a little more aggressive. He gonna sing the B word at you, right? Whereas, in the genre that I came up with, that I came in on, that was not a thing. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect you by singing a disrespectful word at you in a pretty way. That's nuts. That's nuts. I'm gonna beautifully call you a B word. That don't make no sense. So I get it. I understand. But I feel like at this point the pendulum needs to swing back towards people realizing that vulnerability is not weakness, that vulnerability is not lame, and that masculinity and vulnerability can exist in the same place. I feel like that's what it is.
I love that. Now, before I let you go, because of course, big show tonight, Gabriel Fieldhouse, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. So I'm gonna give you a couple records you might have featured on, wrote on, maybe even performed. Right? I just want you to tell me some excitement about that record. You know what I mean? Whether it was you writing it, whether it was performing it one time somewhere, or just maybe even hearing it on the radio. All right. You ready?
Okay.
First song that I want that. Let's do Give Me Everything with you and Pitbull, right?
Man.
I love that record.
Give Me Everything. Yeah. That wound is still open from us getting snubbed at the Grammys for that song. That song was supposed to win a Grammy, man. But, there's like a time frame that you had to put the music in order for it to even be eligible for a Grammy, whatever. I feel like that song should have been the exception, but that's me. One very fond memory. First and foremost, Pitbull is my dude. Like, shouts to Mr. Worldwide, one of the coolest and most genuine people that you will ever meet on the face of the planet. One of the biggest crowds I've ever been in front of, 80,000 people, Wembley Stadium. Sheesh. Grab somebody sexy, tell them, hey, and 80,000 people jumping up and down at the same time. That was electric, to for lack of a better word. Like, that's a moment that I will never forget.
Ooh, yeah,
man.
All right, the next record. Let's do Miss Independent.
Miss Independent was, let me see. I think that might have been, so when I met Stargate, mind you, Stargate is a production team that I did, Miss Independent, Because of You, So Sick, Let Me Love You, Sexy Love, I could keep going. Like, we've done pretty much all the hits together, right? I think Miss Independent was the second day. The first day that I met them, we did So Sick, Because of You, a song called Let Go from the first album. And it was one more that happened the first day we met.
Oh, wow.
The second day we met, Miss Independent came. And, yeah, that's the song that I won my 3 Grammys for. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that song will always hold a special place in my heart. Yeah.
One of my favorite, and because it's the way you did the intro, She Got Her Own with Jamie.
Yeah, man.
Like, I think that was so player how you kind of introduced him to the ladies, and like, that intro was so cold to me.
Yeah, man. That's so funny thing about that record. So the artist Lucky Daye.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucky Daye wrote Jamie Foxx's verse on one song, because that song was originally supposed to be me and him. Me and Lucky Daye, before he was calling himself Lucky Daye, when he was just, I don't know if people know his real name. I won't out him out here. But there was a point in time where he was signed to me. And he was going to be an artist that I was going to put out under my production label, on my production company. And that song initially had nothing to do with Miss Independent. It was just a song that me and him was going to do together. So he wrote his verse, I wrote my verse, and then, things went left and we didn't wind up doing it. But the song was still dope. So,
yeah.
That's when I took it and turned it into the remix of Miss Independent, put Jamie Foxx on it, put Fab on it, and put it out on my own. Man, shouts to the boy Lucky Daye.
Shout out to Lucky. Now, is there a record that you gave away that you'd be like, damn, I wish I would have kept that?
Man.
And I feel like writers do it all the time.
It happens.
It
definitely happens.
But is it that one that you like? That's the one.
There's a joint that it did not get much look, and I feel like the reason is, it's because of this reason. Shouts to the boy Luke James. You know
Luke James? Good.
Luke James is an amazing dude, amazing singer, super talented dude. From acting to singing on down. Super talented dude. Much love to Luke James. There's a song that I did for him. I initially wrote the song to do it myself. Wound up not doing it because by the end of the album cycle, it didn't make sense with everything else on the project. But played it for him. He loved it. He wanted to sing it. I'm like, all right, cool. The song was too high. So we dropped the song down, like I think 2-3 keys, so that he could sing it in a more comfortable place. And it just changed the whole feel of the record. So it didn't really get the look that I feel like the record deserved. And just in that moment, I was thinking to myself, man, if I'd have just kept that one, if I'd have just held on to that one and did it the way that I put it out the way that it initially sounded, it probably would have got a bigger look. Yeah, because it was a dope song. I think the song's called Make Love to Me. You can find it.
Okay.
But just imagine that song about 2-3 keys higher than it is as you're listening to it. And that's where it was when I wrote it. But then we dropped it down so that he could sing it with
his range.
And it just took energy from the song. It just didn't feel like the same record no more.
Okay. Last but not least, let's talk about Show Me.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about this record. This record, I was listening. This record a little raunchy.
I mean, not necessarily raunchy, but it's sensuality.
Okay, I like that word better.
It's sensuality as opposed to sexuality.
Okay.
I feel like, again, just in the name of trying to get us back to that golden era of R&B where it was all right to be sensual. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to just say it outright, but I feel like music is supposed to excite more than just one or two of your senses. You can get all your senses in the right song. And so Show Me is about basically animal magnetism. You know what I'm saying? You meet somebody in the club, everybody's consensual and agreeing. Y'all go back to my place or her place or whatever the case may be, and you let nature take its course. It's about the beauty of not knowing each other real well right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the things about you that make you a bad person. You don't know the things about me that make me selfish or whatever. All we know in this moment is that we want each other, and that's good enough for right now. You know what I mean? And in the grand scheme of all things, all we really got is right now.
Yeah.
So I ain't worried about the future. You ain't worried about the past. We right here in this moment right now. We're going to enjoy each other in this moment right now. That's pretty much what Show Me is about.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's a playlist record right there.
Indeed.
You riding
Put it
around
on your For My Boo playlist.
Absolutely. Listen, when I was listening, I was like, kid, I gotta add this over here. So when it's pop up at the right time, it's
It's one of them baby men.
pay attention.
Well, should you conceive a child of this song, you welcome or I'm sorry. One of the two. One of the two will apply. I'm sorry. Yeah, one of the two.
Listen, I appreciate you taking some time, man. So I know it's kind of early, but you know, to get up here to come hang out with us means a lot, man. Thank you so much.
I will forever be loyal to radio. Love y'all, man. Again, all the streaming sites and all that, that's all cool, fine and good. You know, much love to y'all too. However, before any of that was even a thing, there was radio. You know, you came up here, you talked so that people could get a piece of your personality. You show respect to the people that were showing respect to you by playing your music. So I will always be loyal to radio. I appreciate the hell out y'all, man. For real.
We appreciate you tonight. We'll see you at the show. Auntie showed you the moves yet? Can you do the auntie dance?
Not the way she do it. Not the way she do it. For my fans tour, make sure y'all pull up early tonight. It's myself. It's a legendary Mary J. Blige. Listen, you gonna sing every damn song. Right? That's just what this tour is. You're gonna walk in with a certain amount of voice and leave with less voice than you walked in with because you done sang all night long. That's what this tour is. It's just hits on hits on hits on hits on hits. You do not want to miss it. I'll see y'all tonight. Get there early.
Game Bridge Fieldhouse, pull up on us tonight, baby. BSwift, Neo signing out.
Yeah.